Hi everyone, let's get started with today's independent practice. I have the full worksheets here, but the worksheets that you took home only show the problems that you need to complete. So on the first side of skills practice, it's going to be examples 19 through 21. And on the practice side, it's going to be examples 23 through 30. Okay. So I'm going to start on the side that is skills practice, and I'm going to be doing numbers 21 and 26. Okay. So with problem number 21, now today we are combining like terms, so we are not using substitution. The two rules that we talked about is first we're going to distribute, and then second we're going to combine like terms. Remember that like terms must have the same variable with the same exponent. All right, so let's look at this first one. On this first one, keep in mind that this is like a -1. Why is it not writing? Okay. So what we are going to be distributing in is that -1, or just a negative is fine to think about. Negative times 3g is a -3g. Okay. Negative times 3h is a -3h. There is no distribution on this second half because there's no groupings with something on the outside. Distribution is only when we have that value on the outside going into a group. Okay, so we've got positive 5g minus 10h. Now what we're going to do is we're going to circle the signs in all the terms that have a G and box all the ones that have an H. So let's circle -3g and positive 5g and box -3h and -10h. So when we simplify that, -3g and 5g gives us, excuse me, I'm going to change that color back to blue. 2g, -3h, and -10h gives us -13h. All right, so let's go on to number 26, where there is a fraction. Okay, so I believe that as soon as somebody shares something with me that is a shortcut, I will share it with you. So here's a shortcut for multiplying or dividing. Nope, multiplying is the right value. I was looking for a word. Multiplying a fraction times a whole number. Okay, so when we're doing distribution, we are going to ultimately multiply 1/3 to 15d. So what is 1/3 of 15? Or the shortcut is what is 15 divided by 3? That's 5, and then times 1 gives us 5d. So 15d divided by 3 is 5d. 5d times 1 is 5d. Another way you could think about it is we could just put that over 1. 1 times 15 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay? And 15 divided by 3 reduces to 5d. Okay. Same thing here. We could place this over 1 so that we would have positive 3c over 3, and that gives us positive c. Okay. Then here again, I'm going to go ahead and make these fractions. -1 times 8 over 2 times 1, c, gives us -4c. And then -1 times -10 gives us positive 10 over 2 gives us positive, oops, forgot the d, gives us positive 5d. Okay, so I'm going to circle all of those with the c, box all the ones with the d, should have kept that sign in there. So let me fix that. Then I have 5d plus 5. Oh, let's do c's first. C minus 4c gives us negative 3c. 5d plus 5d gives us plus 10d. Those two cannot be combined because they have a different variable. So there's our solution for that one. Okay. All right, so for the next part that you have where it says simplify an expression, where it starts with number 23, I'm going to go down to number 25. Okay. So number 25, simplifying this expression. All right, if there's any groupings, I take the sign or the value before it. So I'm going to take this value here, and I'm going to distribute it to everything on the inside. Okay, so this first one, there's no grouping, so I just keep it 8x minus 7y. Negative times 3 is negative 3. And negative times negative 6y is positive 6y. Okay. All right, now here we're going to still go through and circle everything with an X. I just do this alphabetically. Box everything with the Y, including that sign. And then my constants I just underline, just so I know that's still there, but it doesn't have a variable, right? Combining like terms, I will get 8x minus 1y, which is just minus y or negative y, minus 3. Cool. All right, now on to number 30. Okay, lots of fractions here, so let's go over this one. All right, I'm gonna probably get a narrower pen so that I can try to write it all here. Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and use distribution, of course, but I'm going to work with these fractions the way I showed you the first time. I'm gonna make every one of these guys a fraction. Okay. All right, so on this first one, I'm going to do 5 times 3 and 6 times 5. So that's 15 over 30x. That can be reduced to 1/2 x. Okay. Another way that you could have seen this here is that these two would have canceled out. And 3 over 6 could be reduced. 3 is 1, 6 is 2. That would give me 1/2. Okay? But remember that you still have to use that 5, 6 for that 12y. So you got to be really careful. If you start scratching stuff off, you want to be able to see it still. Okay? So then we have plus 5 times 12 is 60. 6 times 1 is 6. That has a y after it. So that's plus 10y. Now on the second one, negative 1 times 2 is negative 2 over 4 times 1 is 4. That's an x. That can be reduced to negative 1/2 x. Negative 1 times negative 12 is a positive 12. 4 times 1 is 4, and there's a y variable there. That gives us positive 3y. Okay, now combining like terms. Once we've done distribution, now we've got to combine like terms. So all of our x's, I'm going to circle, including the sign before it. All the y's, I'm going to box. And then I'm going to combine those values alphabetically. So 1/2 x and negative 1/2 x. Well, those cancel out. Then I have positive 10y and positive 3y, which gives me 13y is my simplified value. All right? All right, so that is it for today. I hope this helps you, and you all have a great night.